It's snowing. Okay. Cheer up, you miserable bastard. Snowing. Snowing up the road, snowing down the road. I always thought I wouldn't be one of these people who did snow videos. Oi! Smile! But I am, looks like I am. But that's enough of that. I don't think it's gonna stay. It's already melting, sort of half melting. I mean, I've got like, there's no snow on my doorstep. But no, I thought I'd show this video to show you the snow because I thought you might not have seen any. You know. No. What it is, I just thought it's sort of slightly relevant because it was weather like this that sort of screwed my sort of very first attempt at making YouTube videos up. Going back a good few years, I first got my the right equipment to hook my camera up so I could put stuff on the internet or onto the computer. And I thought, oh no, what a brilliant idea! I'm going to take my camera out and I'm going to make a video of the virgin snow. And I wrapped my camera up. It's a big old camera actually. It's heavy, but I wrapped it up in a bin bag with a bin liner, and so gaffer taped it around my wrist, cut a hole for the lens and the mic, and just walked off up the road. It was quite late. I must have looked a bit mental. It was about probably 12, at least 12 at night. But I wanted to catch the virgin snow, and it was going back a few years, and it was a really deep. There was a good sort of like 6 inches, and it was settling on the road because there weren't any cars all like the road, and I just thought, oh, this would make a brilliant first video. Forgetting what the guy sold me the camera told me about how the camera is quite a delicate piece of kit. It's a decent camera. It's a Sony. It's an old camera. You know, that's undeniable. It's going back sort of 2001 or something, maybe even earlier. I don't know. But the guy who sold me, he said that it's susceptible to condensation. I totally forgot that he told me that. I thought, yeah, brilliant idea. I'll take my camera out. Doesn't, you know, I'll waterproof it. So I did waterproof it, but totally forgetting about the condensation. The condensation got into it and just fucked it right up. You know, and it's not worked properly since. So all I can do is hook it up to the hard drive with a firewire cable. I can't take it out. So I thought, it's weather like this. This means I'm sort of stuck making indoor videos. Like a Oi! Psst. His nickname is we call him Gitface, or El Bastardo, because he is. He likes to rule with an iron paw. Right, that's enough of the snow. I'll just pop you back. I'm twisted. I'm all twisted up. So you've done a nice 720 of my room. Seeing I'm wearing my Christmas jumper. That's nice, isn't it? Just flip that around. I've just been getting a bit envious of people making vlog videos. I never thought I'd be a vlogger. You know, it seems a bit like. I always sort of never intended to turn my channel into sort of like a thing where it became like a routine. I don't want to, but obviously it is, because all I do is pick up videos. But I think like when people do vlogging, they talk about when they've got something to say. And so I always thought I'd only ever make a video if I had something to say. I mean, you don't always have something to say. Some people do like regimented sort of like weekly videos where they talk about stuff, but that seems to me slightly forced, because you might not have something to talk about. You know, like a weekly rant. You know, you might not be angry. I thought that's what ranting is. It's sort of like a passionate thing. When you've got a passion about something, you want to express it. But if you're doing like a weekly one, I don't know, you might not necessarily have something that you want to get off your chest. And so I never thought I'd be doing videos like this, because to me that's what it is. But I've been watching people, and a lot more people are doing them now, and it sort of makes sense. Makes more sense. I mean, that my previous point of view has sort of slightly changed. It's gone out the window. And but that's not to say that I'm going to. That's one of my other fears, is that I thought I wouldn't mind doing one of those, but I might dry up. So I think that's why I tend to do lots of pickups videos, and if I've got something to say, I'll bundle it all in together. But so it's like the pickups are a crutch, so to speak. But no, I've seen people doing them, and I've enjoyed. It's just basically like sitting down, talking, having a chat, so to speak. I'd like to have a pint, actually, because that's what I've always said. I mean, that I treat my videos like I'm having a chat with someone down the pub. It's really nice. I've totally forgotten I put my Christmas jumper on. I've just noticed it in the. Looks brilliant on camera, doesn't it? So yeah, this is like. I've enjoyed watching other people's, especially like a good nod, a wink to Alex's food one, putting his shopping away. Something about that, I thought, this is a work of genius. Damn, I wish I'd got there first. You know, trying to think of an alternative that's like putting your shopping away, but not putting your shopping away, which doesn't look like you're trying too hard to make it look like you're putting your shop. You know, you're finding an alternative, if that makes any sense whatsoever. But I do actually have some certain things to say, and I've got a little pile of pickups, some pretty good ones actually. I've got a feeling I'm going to split this video into two. Just put the pickups in the second part, or not even, you know, just do it separately anyway. But I've got some things to say, things to talk about. I won't make it too long, but I've got a little note, because that's another thing. The pickups are something to sort of like to get my mind working, because my mind works in weird ways, and sometimes I can reach an impasse and just nothing comes to me. I've got lots of things to say, but you know, pickups are like oil in the cogs. But when I've got nothing to lean on, you know, my mind doesn't work properly always. But so hence I've got these notes. But I don't know what order should I do it in. Yeah. I never thought I'd say this, but I got recognised in the street. I've got to be honest. It was a surprise. I mean, I've always thought, in the back of my mind, there's a possibility, but it's not. I never thought it was a probability. It's a possibility, a very, very slim possibility, and it's just at the time it was a massive surprise, and especially considering less than 300 people have watched my videos, and I live in a sort of a big city like London, so that was just a sort of. It sort of did spin me out a bit. Now, what it was, I was going to do some work with my brother-in-law, and because I live in Enfield, it's North London. I had to travel to Romford because he was installing some graphics on the outside of a shop, and I was sort of working with him, and because it was a shop that was open, they allowed to do it at a certain time. It was either early in the morning or late at night, and so we we're due to do it early in the morning. I rocked up to Romford on the train. Just literally, it was snowing. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to make it, but the snow was all right by then. And I was waiting for my brother-in-law outside the station, and then all of a sudden I was aware someone was standing just sort of like sort of saying hello, so to speak. And he said, "Excuse me." He said, "Excuse me, do you have a YouTube video?" And I think if I'm honest, I was a bit like I think I was a bit cagey. I apologise now because I'm going to give him a shout out. I was a bit cagey because I just thought you can't actually recognise me from my actual YouTube video. I mean, it's more like that I've been mistaken for somewhere else. But no, I had actually been recognised for my YouTube videos. I mean, I thought it was. I know Pete's had been recognised. Pete's Nestastic, but then he's got a lot more subs than I have. But this was just this mad coincidence, and I said, because I apologise. It's if I get this wrong, because I was a bit sort of like not all there, because it was early, I'm making excuses. I'm not going to make excuses, but I apologise if I do get this wrong. It's Sean Day. It's a good shout out to Sean Day. I apologise if I couldn't sort of stay and chat longer. But like I said, I was sort of meeting my brother-in-law to do some work, and I apologise if I was a little bit cagey, because I just didn't expect it. I didn't think it was, He said, "Excuse me, have you got a YouTube channel?" I went, "I might have a YouTube channel." I thought that's a bit rude. That's a bit rude, but then it became clear that I was actually being recognised for my YouTube videos, and it was really, I can't do that. It was a bit strange. But and I apologise if I couldn't sort of stay and chat a bit longer. I mean, if I did actually go and have a look around Romford afterwards, and there's quite a lot there. A lot of charity shops, and a cash converters, and a cash generators, and some other, other equivalent shop. Loads of charity shops. So I might come back to Romford one day. So this is a shout out to Sean Day. I hope it is Sean Day. I'm pretty convinced it is, but something in the back of my mind is telling me it's just like a nagging doubt, which is just my own paranoia. But cheers to Sean Day for coming up and saying hello. I mean, it did get a little buzz out of it. I'm not like an egomaniac or anything, but the fact someone came up and said he watches my videos, it did sort of give me a little buzz, because up until now you only get the sort of video comments or video responses as an indication that people watch your videos, and it was a nice little thing actually. So cheers to Sean Day. He doesn't have any videos, and he did say that he just collects video games. So I've looked for your channel, mate, but I've not been able to find it. I just put Sean Day into the search engine. But cheers anyway. Cheers, just come and say hello. It's nice to see somebody who watches my videos. Anyway, cheers, Sean. That's just one of the fears I had before I started doing. Before I thought I want to do a vlog, like a blog video, a proper one, without anything to lean on. And I thought there's a problem, sort of like segueing into the sort of the different from one topic to another, because I've got a lot to say. I think you generally get that from my pickups videos. I've got quite a lot to say, but sometimes it's just a bit like, you ever watch the One Show where they have all these really disparate topics. They can go from funny shaped vegetables to horrific tragedies, just sort of in the blink of an eye. And I just thought that's going to be how it ends up, because anyway, I'm going from meeting someone in the street to telly that I want everyone to watch. Yeah, this is another. I want to get this video out now because some of the telly that I want to recommend, it's already started. It's two in particular. There's another one which I will also mention, but two in particular. Their next episodes, they've already had the first episodes, but their second episodes are on Monday and Tuesday, I think. But the main one is it's called Utopia, And this, in a way, is a response to something Pete said. Again, Pete Snestastic said. That's becoming like when they talk about people in bands, they talk about like a band member, and then it's almost like their surname becomes the band name. Like, is it Johnny Ramone? Somebody Ramone. I'm sure that like the Ramones. The Ramones all get referred to as sort of like their surnames as the band names. Anyway, I'm talking bollocks. It was where did that come from? It was something Pete said. That was it. I remember now. It's something Pete said. It's fantastic. It was about television. It was favourite television. It was this comment about American television and how he's in this mindset that British television is all bollocks, And I can't deny it, mate. That did wind me up slightly. It was like a blanket statement. She said, blanket statements, I hate them. But he's got good art. You've got a good art, haven't you, Pete? And it's the programme I'm talking about is Utopia on Channel 4. Next episode on Tuesday night. It's been touted quite heavily by Channel 4. It's just it doesn't, if I'm honest, it doesn't look like British television. It's just really stylish. It looks gorgeous. I think it's shot in widescreen. I'm pretty sure it's on like CinemaScope. Is it CinemaScope? Because I'm sure there were like borders at the top and the bottom, and it was like really stretched. Not like stretched as in the image, but like the image was really long in compared to its sort of depth. But it's a really interesting piece of television. It was about quite difficult to categorise. It's about a graphic novel manuscript that seems to have almost like what's the guy? Oh Jesus! I should have done some research. Nostradamus-like qualities. It sort of predicts the future. And then there are all these sort of shady organisations, all like trying to get their hands on it and stuff, and all these internet geeks who talk about, who are aware of it and talk in chat rooms and stuff about it, and then in the end they all meet up, and then these shady organisations will start to track them down because they don't want people to get their hands in it, and it's. Oh, well, all I can say is I recommend it. It's just it's one episode. It's slightly longer than an hour. It was an hour and 10, hour and 15 minutes, but it was really, really good and really violent. It is actually. It is pretty violent. And if you've not seen the first episode, check it out on 4OD at least, or you might even be able to find it on YouTube somewhere. But look out for the section with the chilies. No, it's the bleach, the sand, and the chilies, and the spoon. And a little tip: don't turn away, because that will make it appear worse than it actually is. Actually, force yourself to watch it. If you feel like covering your eyes, don't do it. Force yourself to watch it. Otherwise, you're letting your imagination run away with you. Oh, is it the tip? But it's called Utopia, and it's really stylish, and it's a thriller. It may be supernatural. There might be supernatural elements, but that will probably, if there are supernatural elements, I'm guessing not. There could be, and if there are, that will be revealed later on. But it's really mysterious, and there's this guy in it who's you might have seen him. He's in the film I mentioned recently called The Kill List. He's one of the characters in that, and he's like this sort of like just dead-eyed assassin, and he just goes around to people going, "Where's Jessica Hyde?" like that, in this really deadpan way. It's just like terrifying. But if you can find the first episode, watch it. It's called Utopia, and the next episode is on Tuesday night, Channel 4. And that was another thing. Yeah, Pete said Channel 4 should just give up, or something like that, wasn't it? They should just stop making telly. This is a riposte to Pete, and also Channel 4. This isn't actually E4. It's called My Mad Fat Diary. It's almost like a New Millennium Adrian Mole, but it's based on a person's actual diary. That's really good as well. It's a girl from the perspective of a girl, a big girl who's just come out of I think she was not in this. I don't know what you call it. It was she'd had not therapy, so she was in a mental hospital for 4 months or something, and her mum, who's a bit of a nut job, had told everyone she'd gone to France for 4 months, stuff like that. And so her mum's a bit of a nightmare, and she comes out, and it's about her trying to adjust, and it's particularly will particularly appeal to my generation because it's set in the 90s, and it's just got a pure 90s like indie rock soundtrack, because that's one of the main character. I think her name's, what's her name? I can't remember now. Ray. It's short for Rachel, I think. And the main character Ray, that's how she copes, because she wants to ingratiate herself with the cool kids, because she sees one of her old school friends who's a bit popular, and they sort of old school friends who've drifted apart, so to speak. But then she sees her when she's come out of the hospital. And her old school friend doesn't know that she's been in hospital, and she tries to ingratiate herself with her old school friends by talking about music and her old school friends, and that's the way they come to accept her, because they she's a bit strange, and I think they're slightly aware of that. But then she talks about music and stuff, and they realise that she's actually really cool because she knows cool things, and that's how they initially come to accept her. But anybody, I mean, like, there was just, the soundtrack was stunning. I was just sitting there going, I know all the words to these songs. I mean, one of my favourite songs is One to Another by the Charlatans, and they played that, and I couldn't really concentrate on the rest of the programme because I was just singing along to the song, and it's just like amazing, really, really good. It's called My Mad Fat Diary, I think. Yeah, My Mad Fat Diary. It's based on a true, like, somebody's actual diary. And the other one I was going to mention, that's on Monday night. That's, again, you're probably able to find the first episode on 4OD, but the second episode's on Monday night, and on E4. And finally, Ripper Street. It's more not costume drama, but more like, it's like a police drama set in the times of Jack the Ripper, and that's really good as well. I won't say too much about that, but that's really good as well. Really good, really cool, and that's violent as well. So anybody who likes violence, you might like Ripper Street, and you'll definitely like Utopia. Anyway, I'm nearly coming to the end, but I just wanted to say something about HMV and Blockbuster. I mean, so notice the segue there. I mean, it's sad. It's sad how things have happened. I don't think Blockbuster have handled it brilliantly. Somebody I know was given vouchers for Christmas and obviously can't use it because they treat it as debt. They treat it as people with vouchers as their own debtors, and so they're not able to repay their debts, and so they're not able to repay people with. That's essentially how it works, I think. They're not able to pay to honour the vouchers because they're seen as sort of like debt. But I would suspect that they knew about their financial situation before Christmas, knew that there would be a big run on gift vouchers before Christmas, and probably waited, to basically let their financial status known till after Christmas, until they'd basically got all the money from these vouchers that they weren't able to honour, which is properly shady. But that's. They might finally like succumb. Maybe you might be able to hold on to them, and if they do pull through in the way the game has, maybe they might be able to honour them. But I know you can honour them if they were bought on with credit cards and stuff. But and Blockbuster as well. Blockbuster don't really seem to be having much of a sale. There's no like fire sale, but HMV have. Well, HMV's prices are too high anyway, and that 25% has barely made a scratch. I mean, I think that's the problem really, is that people don't, so their prices aren't competitive. But I was looking for the Raid, and I know I can get the Raid on Amazon for £6.50. And obviously that's, you know, they're taking advantage of, like, you know, like tax havens, aren't they? But I know I can get the Raid £6.50. But one branch of HMV I went in had it for £14. And I don't think it was even in the sale. But even if it had been, that's, you know, that's like £11.50 or something, or £11 something. Yeah. But I saw another copy that was £8 in a different branch, and that definitely wasn't in the sale. And so even if it had been, that would have been around about the same price, £6.50. And even with these discounts, they're not competitive. But Blockbuster don't even have any fire sale. But I think Blockbuster is always, you know, there's rarely anyone in there, and it's just a matter of time with Blockbuster, because, you know, I mean, you just rent off of the internet. But I have been thinking about it, and there was not a documentary. I read an article about what it's going to be like, because it seems like everything like sort of CDs. I suppose clothes could go the same way. Anything that can be bought off the internet for cheaper prices will do. Clothes maybe not so much, because then a lot of people will like to try them on. But things like CDs, like the non-perishables, it's just a matter of, you know, it's just a matter of time really, and we have to accept. But I don't think it's as doom laden as you might think, because it could open up all that extra space up to other things. I think, I mean, there could be things like restaurants and cafes and just sort of creative places and art galleries and stuff. I mean, that's not brilliant for everyone, but it would create sort of a nicer atmosphere than just like these uniform, like town high streets where everything looks the same. And people have been complaining about that sort of thing for years. But it might open it up to more. It might sort of regress slightly to how things were when it's more like independent stores where they're offering a genuine alternative to what's on the internet. You know, it's for the people who, because we don't all like the same thing, do we? It's for people who like sort of the personal service, or, you know, people who go to retro shops, because I know retro video game shops must have a really hard time with it. But it's sad. But I'm not 100% convinced that it's going to be as, you know, horrific when the time comes, as, you know, as we all expect it to be. I mean, it might be pretty desolate on town high streets for a while, but I think we'll adjust. So it's, you know, it's a little optimistic note to end on. I won't add in my pickups because I'm already just up to half an hour, and that'll take bloody ages. That'll be an over 50-minute job, and I'm not prepared to do that. But thanks for watching, and thanks for Sean Day, for coming and saying hello, because, you know, it was really nice actually. We really appreciate it that you just came and said hello. You didn't just, anyway. Thanks for watching. This is, I won't call it a vlog. I'll think of another title. But I'm gonna film my pickups video now, and I might upload it today. I might upload it tomorrow. But thanks for watching, everybody, and see you later. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I've jumped on the bandwagon. You know, that's another thing. Didn't want to be seen to be jumping on the bandwagon. That's pretty much what I've done. Oh well. No, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.